about some basic points regarding your spinal fixation. And you know, spinal instrumentation today we are more concerned about the pedicle screw fixation. And before that, there are so many techniques available, and I want to explain some other technique also besides pedicle screw fixation. As you know, the pedicle screw fixation is better. Better why? Why it is better than that of your other instrumentation technique? Bongi, can you tell me? Why it is better? Because he addresses the 3 columns. It is one of the instrument device implants which process over the all 3 columns. You know the 3 columns concept by Dennis. So Dennis concept of your 3 columns are there, first, second and third. And this pedicle screw fixation is a strong device because it addresses all the 3 columns. That is one of the advantages. One. Number 2 point is that other techniques which are available, like the push-to instrumentations available, or if you are addressing from the anterior side also, pedicle screw also a device can be used anteriorly to the body that only addresses the 1 column. The pedicle screw can address all the 3 columns from behind to front. So posterior column, middle column and anterior column, all the 3 columns are addressed. So that is why this construct is first better and more convenient to use, and it shows a good result, stability also, stability point of view. That is one. Number 2 point is that the other techniques, some other techniques I would like to explain. You know something about the pedicle, but I would like to tell you some other techniques also, which are still in use. So one of the technique known as liquid technique. Have you ever heard of liquid techniques? L-U-Q-U-E, liquid. Liquid is not available here, but you know the shape of the liquid is just like the 2 sevens. Supposing have you ever seen this implants? This is called Hartshill rectangle. Hartshill rectangle. H-A-R-T-S-H-I-L-L. Hartshill. Its shape is a rectangle. This rectangle is available in different size and shape. Different size and shape depending upon the area of pedicles to be fixed. Before that, another technique which is not nowadays in use is called liquid technique. So liquid is basically the step ahead of your Hartshill. What is liquid? So I do not have liquid here, but even then you can find out that supposing this column, this is divided into 2 sevens. Supposing this is L, this part, another L is this. Okay? So if it is cut here, another is cut here, this is one, not essential. One can do this technique without the help of any seam. Yes, but as you know, pedicle screw, though most of the time one can do it without the help of your seam. But finally, to confirm your implant fixation, one need to go for the intraoperative image. But in this case, we do not need seam. Without seam one can. Number 3.4 point is that this surgery can be done in lateral position also. Though most of these spine surgeries being done in prone position. Yes, most of the surgeons are comfortable in doing the surgery in prone position. But it's also true that this surgery can be done in lateral position also. One can do it. Patient is in lateral position, one can fix it. Yes. Then only part is that the construct is not that as strong as that of your pedicle screw. 1 point. it is only addressing the posterior column. So your fixation is entirely locating the posterior column, not the middle or the anterior column. So it is basically a stabilizer in the posterior column. But even then, today also it is in use. Surgeon, you must have heard one of the Indian most renowned surgeon, S.Y. Gujras, is still doing Hartshill rectangle with sublaminar wire technique for all the spinal instrumentations. Still in use, doing good results, and this can be done as I said in a very in a hospital where you do not have a good infrastructures. That is why it can be done in a remote place also. Yes. So one part. What is the other component? This is Hartshill rectangle, as I said. Number 2 point is that this is available in different size. Different size means that while you are going to fix 3 part, 2 part, 3 part, how many vertebrae? So depending upon which you are going to select. So you must have a range of your Hartshill rectangle in your person theatre, and that can be used here. Yes, depending upon need. Then next point is that it can be controlled. It can be controlled. Means you can bend it according to the need. Supposing if you are doing a surgery at the level of your thoracolumbar junction, so its shape is like this. Yes or no? Thorax, and in the junction, definitely you need to go for a contouring of this device. That contouring can be done with the plate bender, conventional plate bender. Because as you know, the instruments which you are going to implants, which you are going to use, should maintain the normal curvature, and this curvature can be given or molded. You can set it with the help of your plate bender. You can apply the plate bender, bend it, then you accommodate. Okay, in long fixation, necessarily you need to give a shape according to spine, and that can be done. Yes, sir. What is the another component of this device? This you call DRUMMOND wire. This wire is called DRUMMOND. DRUMMOND wire. DRUMMOND wire. So DRUMMOND wire and the Hartshill rectangle. As such, there are 2 techniques for fixation here. One is called Sublaminar technique. Another is called Trans-spinous technique. So I will show you these 2 techniques today. Then if possible, we will talk about the pedicle screw fixation also. Yes. So I said one is technique called Sublaminar technique. Another is called Trans-spinous technique. What is Trans-spinous technique and what is Sublaminar technique? As such, Sublaminar technique is far better than that of your Trans-spinal one. Number 2, only thing that you have to be very careful while passing the wire beneath the lamina. So just anterior to the lamina, we have the cord. Yes or no? So while you are passing this thing down below, so you have to be very careful, and a very important part that it does not go inside and do the device. That is, the stability point of view, sublaminar technique is superior than that of your trans-spinous technique. And in this situations where you have spinous process fracture, you cannot go for the trans-spinous technique. What is my point? Supposing you have a process like this, there is a fracture here in this area, and you want to fix this part by the technique of trans-spinous, but integrity of the spinous process is important. If you do not have an integrity of the spinous process, you cannot go for trans-spinous technique. Yes, and in those situations one can go for sublaminar technique. Okay. So that is important. Then I will show you the actual technique, how exactly we are going to apply this method in the operation theatre. As I said, Hartshill rectangle can be used in both in supine prone position and even lateral position. We often used to do surgery in lateral positions, and it is possible, but it is not possible in case of your pedicle screw fixation. That is entirely the patient should be on prone position. That can be done. As such, most of the surgeons are comfortable doing surgery in the prone position. So this patient is in prone position under anesthesia. As you all know, you have to take care while the patient in prone position. What things you have to be careful? Anybody who can tell us?
So that should be about the
Head is not important. Important, you must have bolster there. In the chest area, bolster at the iliac crest level, abdomen should to be free so that he can good respirations, doesn't interfere. You must take care of the bony landmark so that there is no undue pressure of the bony landmark, bony area that may lead to your pressure ulcer. You must take care for the eyes. So there are certain points why the patient under anesthesia in prone positions is not comfortable. Yes or no? So you have to be very careful. That is the basic things while you are taking the surgery for in prone position. You must take care of the eyes. One of the point, horseshoe-shaped arch support is there to give protection of the head. Yes, one point. Number two, bolster should be there so that abdomen is free. So that while there is aspiration, does not interfere. Then also you take help on the bolster the iliac crest level. Take care of the scrotums. Take care of the bony landmark, particularly in the knee. And many times limbs are a bit keep in flex with good protections to the bony landmark. Yes. Then other part, the anesthetist will be playing, and that is basic things. Now, patient in prone positions, we all know that you have to go for the midline exposure. Suppose if you are going to do a fixation in this area, there is a fracture of this vertebra, and you want to have a fixation from this area to this area, right? So there is a fracture of this vertebra. Suppose this is 5, 4, 3, 2, means L2 is fractured. So L2 vertebra is fractured, and you want to do fixation with Hartshill rectangle. How we are going to do? So patient in prone position, you are doing dissections, removing your Trans-spinous muscles laterally. In these situations, you may not go far lateral up to the transverse process. The transverse process dissections is not very much needed in case of Hartshill. But in case of pedicle fixation, particularly early stage, one should expose the transverse process also. So dissection, midline incision, paraspinal muscle retractions in cautery use. Take care that you do not go far lateral because you do not need to do in case of Hartshill rectangle. Okay. So this is the area of fixation, supposing, right? So this is the this is the technique. So this is adequately fixed over there. Our vertebra, this one is fractured, L2. We want to do a short fixations from L1 to L3. Yes. So we are going to do a fixations with Hartshill in this region. What is the technique? As I said, after doing dissection, you may need to give shape contouring of this Hartshill. So what will this shape? It should be lordotic, because this area, the spine is be lordotic, so you can give a shape of lordosis. One, it is done. So since that area, the lumbar spine is lordotic, we give a shape of a lordosis. Now, as I said, there are two techniques available. One is called Sublaminar, another is called Trans-spinous process. Now, I will show you both the technique. One, Trans-spinous. Now, how to do it? Now, this, as I said, the bone where, if you look at carefully, you will find a hole over there. Another additional hole. Okay? Another additional hole. Okay? So this is important. Now how are trans-spinous instrumentation? Now as I said, this is the area where we are going to fix it. Now we are going to go for trans-spinous instrumentation, sorry, DRUMMOND. For this purpose, you must make a hole at the base of the spinous process. This is important. The base is the very important, and take the middle part of the. So this is the spinous process of your L3 vertebra. So if you want to make the hole for the DRUMMOND, where you are going to the base of it, not the tip. Tip is not very strong, so you must make a hole at the base part, and preferably in the middle of this spinous process. Preferably the middle. So that hole initially can be started with a towel clip. So you take the help of a towel clip and go into it and give a mark. Okay, that towel clip, if you are making a hole, you can make it go like this. So make the hole bigger. Or you can take other additional instrument also to make the hole a bit bigger. Next step is to passing the DRUMMOND wire through the hole. So I am passing the DRUMMOND wire through the hole from my left side. Okay? And another DRUMMOND wire should be passed from the opposite side. So the patient is here. So another DRUMMOND wire should be passed. If the hole is not big enough, it may not be possible initially, but you need to make the hole a bit big sometime. So supposing the hole is not big one, so you make the hole bigger. You can take some other instrument also. Yes, sir. So this is the technique through which you are passing a DRUMMOND wire from this side and another DRUMMOND wire from that side, and his hole is being used to lock it. Now at this position of time, you see this knob button is locked at the base of your spinous process. Now what next? Next thing that you have to cut this wire. See, you cut it. Cut the wire. We are sacrificing this wire. Cut. Now cut it. Now you have to make this hole like this. This side also one need to cut it and make one up and down. Okay. So likewise, you supposed to pass another wire at this area. And if you find this is also strong and it is still not fractured, one can pass the wire here also. Okay? So you can have 3 pairs. So if the L2 is fractured, we are extending from L1 to L3. And if the spinous process of L2 is intact, one can use this also. Otherwise, we have to make another hole over here. The technique is same. Pass the wire from this side at the base of the spinous process. Pass another wire from the opposite side. Lock it through the hole, and then cut it and make the wire like this. So this side you have to cut it here, one wire this side, another wire this side. Here also you do it like this, river. Okay? So you have a wire, everywhere have two half. One half is here, other half is down. Now what next? That we did a contouring of this Hartshill. Contouring is done. Now what you are going to do, you are passing this your Hartshill through this wires half. Yes, that means one half of the wire will be inside. So every level, one wire above, another wire below. Here also, one wire here, another wire like this. See? Can you make out? So this wire is being passed like this. Got my point? I am not cutting it, not supplying it, because if you cut it, you cannot use it. Once it is done, done. Okay, fine. So you have to cut it here. Make the wire like this. Here also you do the same thing. Here also you are doing the same thing. So everywhere you have to have two half. One wire this side, another. So this side, this now approximate this wire here. So one wire is supposed to be above and you can down. Now what you are going to do, you are going to do the tightening of this wire. So I am going to tighten. So this side, this wire is tightened like this. So you are making this wire tight. So simultaneously you are also doing tightening of this area. So this side is simultaneously if you are doing, it will be not this one. So you start here, go like this. Do it simultaneously so that it is in middle, so that it is not being pushed to one side. So if you are doing simultaneously, do it. So in that case, if this wire is like this, then I will tighten like this. So that what happens, that if this implants will be in the middle, it will not push one side. So that can be done in the above and then below also. And finally, this wire should be more when it in such a way it is in submuscular area, does not do any undue prominence or is not going to do any damage to the engine. So this is your Hartshill rectangle by Trans-spinous technique. Trans-spinous, is it clear? So anything to be asked? Pradeep, do you have anything to ask? Pradeep? No. You got the technique? Technique is not very difficult. It is very simple. You are not opening the cord. Neither there is a possibility to injure the cord here because you are far away from the cord, and whatever you are doing the instrumentations is being done only the posterior column, not doing anything to the middle or the anterior column. So this is far away from the any vital structures and it is very easy to do. So in this technique, while you are deciding and could able to find out the lesson, that becomes more easy to do the fixations without any sort of your image now. For this technique, you do not need any image. You can do it, fix it. And it's quite strong also. This device is not that it is not it is strong. This can be used for this scoliosis corrections, deformity corrections, and also in trauma situations for fixations of the spine. Is okay. So that technique, what we had done is, as I said, is called trans-spinous. Another technique, as I said, is called your sublaminar. The sublaminar technique, sublaminar technique is a bit precarious in the sense that you have to be careful. What is more important, that you need to find out the inferior border of the spinous process here. Then do the separations of the, what is here in between the spinous process? What is the structure here? What is the structure in between? Huh? What is the structure in between? In between these two, what is the structure? Ligamentum flavum. These are all wrong. Interspinous ligament is here. This is ligamentum flavum. So you need to separate the ligamentum flavum from the attachment and make a tunnel to the vertebra to up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a important technique. So as I said, this is a sublaminar technique. So you need to make a tunnel. You need to make a tunnel through the sublaminar area. But you know, if you are going too much anteriorly, you may cause the injury to the cord. So that is one. Then you need to separate the lamina from the ligamentum tremum. Then make a tunnel to the, there is certain devices are there, instruments are there, which are helpful to do the separations. And then what is in most of the surgeons, they make a shape like this, see, holding like this and give a shape like this, this shape. This is an important shape, contouring. See, this is this jack technique sort of. So what they are doing, they are most of the time after doing this, and this jack technique is being used so as to pass the wear through the lamina, beneath the lamina up to there. So it should be normal. So you can make this shape like this. See, like this. Then you pass it like this and pass and up from the head to take out through the. Yes, it is coming out. Yeah? See, it is sublaminar. So your movement should be very steady and controlled. You do not have privilege of undue movement in this area. You do not have privilege because your vital structure is very interior. This is sublaminar. So you have to separate the ligamentum tremum from the lamina. Make a tunnel from inferior border up to the superior border. Okay. Then pass the wire with a shape like this to the sublaminar. In those situations, one can use another wire also, not necessarily DRUMMOND wire. You can wear other simple wire also. Yes, stainless steel wire also can be used. With a loop, that can be done. Not necessarily DRUMMOND. DRUMMOND wire is mostly used here. Yes. Now what is happening? This is sublaminar technique. So what you are going to do now? You pass this your Hartshill rectangle like this, and you have to tie it like this. So you are making it whole with the lamina and that of your Hartshill. You are tightening. Yes. So that is called sublaminar technique. So these are the two simple techniques one can use it. Sublaminar is important. One can do it. People are doing it and still doing it today also. But one has to be very careful that while you are passing the wire, you have to be very judicious and your movement should be very controlled so that there is no undue movement and there is a risk possibility to injury to the cord entry. Okay, sir? So this thing to be understood that one can do it. So this is a basic technique. That Leakey's technique actually same. So in Leakey, in these situations, 1 or 2 points I would like to mention here. Sometimes you may not get a very adequate size of your Hartshill. So in this situation, children can do some sort of nibbling of the spinous process to accommodate it. So necessarily here one thing is that you have to cut the intraspinous ligament so as to push it in. So if you have the intraspinous ligament here, you need to cut it. So you need to cut it, push the Hartshill to come into contact with the bone. So you need to cut this here. And here sometimes you may need to some sort of nibbling so that you may have a good track and can able to accommodate the Hartshill end nicely. So contouring, placing the Hartshill in position with a cut at the intraspinous ligament and push it towards the bone and fix it in this technique. Very simple. One can do any in simple hospital also where you do not have this privilege of your sophisticated instrumentations. And that I said can be done in lateral position also. If you turn this person here laterally, we have done few cases earlier that one can do these fixations in same technique, same principle once patient is in the lateral position also. But you do not have the liberty in case of your pedicle fixation. So that can be done in lateral position. So prone position, most of the time, lateral position, yes, can be done. Easy, because you do not go near to any sort of important vital structures. Techniques are far away, the instrumentation are far away from the vital structure. It is mostly localized to the posterior column, no addressing to the middle column or anterior column. Yes, then two techniques, as I said, one is sublaminar and one is called trans-spinous technique. So, do you have anything to ask, any query? Because you can do it, this surgery. This surgery can be done, particularly those who cannot afford pedicle screw. It is a very costly device. And titanium implants are very costly. This is available in stainless steel also. Can easily be done. And then do not need a very good OT setup, a sophisticated one. And anybody can do it. What is this? Do you have any doubt, any question in context to this? I want to make it clear because one can do it with one. Any question in this context? Anybody, any question? Yes? Now what next? Do you have anything to ask? No, nothing. And then thank you very much. If you do not have, you can practice it. Okay.